So I'm sitting here with Don Daglow. Thank you for your time here for the interview. This is the second time for you attending the QuoVadis conference. How important, so to speak, is this conference outside of Germany? Is it well known?
I think QuoVadis is increasingly well known around the world as an important conference because I think Central Europe has become such an important part of the games business in so many ways. And to me, QuoVadis is an absolutely critical conference, not only for the Central European community, but also for anybody who does business with Germany and with Central Europe.
Your lecture was about lessons learned or lessons not learned. Can you give us an example for classical cyclical challenge in the game industry is facing again?
I think that one aspect of a problem we see over and over again is we sometimes fall so much in love with what we're creating because you're working on hardware, software, a game. You're spending your whole life dedicated to this. You're surrounded by other people with this shared goal. And we lose perspective. We get to where the way we view what we're doing starts to become the most important thing to us instead of how the game players feel, how the audience feels. If you go back to the 1970s when we were university students working on big mainframes where we couldn't sell games, it was just a thing that we did as game fans. Or if you look today at these big projects with spending tens of millions of dollars in budget, the same problem happens. We get too much in love with our own ideas and we forget our players.
Some people say that, so to speak, historical speaking, we are still in the early ages of the computer game thing, because if you compare it to the film industry, so at the beginning of the film industry, it was incredibly expensive to make a movie. And in the early ages of the gaming industry, it was incredible and expensive. You have big teams, huge budgets, only big companies can afford this. And now we are facing a situation where also small entities, small studios, maybe freelancer can make good games, so to speak. And this is the reason why we are now starting in a phase where more creativity comes into the whole thing. Do you share this opinion, or?
I think there's two ideas here that are intermixed. I agree that we are like the early days of the film business, except I think we are repeating the cycles of the film business at a much faster rate because our technology is changing now faster than the technology of lenses, film, and drive mechanisms for cameras and projectors changed. And so that increased change in technology speed. Also, I think we owe something to the film industry in preparing the audience for what we do. The idea of looking at a screen and willing suspension of disbelief. I was originally trained as a playwright, and we're taught to try to do this on a stage, where someone's sitting in an audience looking up. They know you're an actor on the stage. They don't believe that you are Napoleon or a great detective or Julius Caesar. They know you are not Julius Caesar. He died in AD 61. But we are taught as writers to convince them that that is Julius Caesar upon the stage. The idea of teaching people to look at a screen the same way was done for us by film. So film built on the traditions of theater, but they had to teach the audience new things. A lot of what we have taught is interactivity. But film prepared people first with this idea of on the screen. So I think that we are reliving the history, but I think in the business case, these same cycles we're seeing, but it goes back and forth between small team and individual, large focus on production values, small and individual. So for films, we see times when small teams make great movies, and then we have Ben-Hur with 10,000 university students running up a hill in a charge. So I think we're repeating a lot of these patterns.